Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Spitfire Podcast. I am your host, Lauren Lemunion, the Spitfire Coach. Here, hopefully ready to fire you up, get you inspired, get you motivated to accomplish the things you want to do in your life, in your job, in your relationships, all that good stuff. This is your friendly little reminder. If you are not already subscribed, this is a great time to do it. We're on Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and you can get all of our amazing episodes at spitfirecoach.com/episode. And if you like us, if you really, really like us, please leave a review or send us to a friend. We love the love, spread it around. It's all that good stuff. So here we go today. I am going to share something that I've been working on for myself. Selfishly, I like to experiment on myself. I have my own little laboratory, and then I pass it along to you and to my clients and to anyone who will listen for more than 30 seconds. This is something that I've been really practicing because so much has felt out of control. So much has felt different from typical patterns of what I'm used to in my life, in my everyday life, in my business life, in my relationships. Everything seems to be like off kilter. And the more that I have been kind of looking in with a curious lens, I realized that I have kind of not been practicing one of the core tenets of coaching. In coaching sessions, our job as the coach is to detach from the outcome. And I wasn't doing it in my own personal life. I'm like, oh, well, there we go. So I'm going to kind of go through, what does that actually mean? How can you apply it? What are the benefits? And then, like, where are the sticky parts and how do we work through it? And the reason it's important is because we are not in control of the outcome. I don't know if you realize this, but we are not in control of most things today. But what we are in control of are our thoughts, our actions and reactions, how we treat ourselves, what comes out of our mouth or what doesn't come out of our mouth. We have more agency, more power than we give ourselves credit for. And so this is a great opportunity and reminder to gain that power back, to take it back in, own it, and make some magic happen. Have you ever noticed that when you really, really, really want something, like, you want a promotion, you want a relationship, you want a new car or a new house, you want to save money, we say we want it, but the harder that we chase it, we chase that specific outcome, the more often we might be actually repelling it. It's this really cruel little paradox. And I have been listening to this book called Existential Kink. It's a great title, and it's a great book. I will say, if you haven't done a lot of the inner work, maybe start with some other stuff before you dive into it, because it will kind of blow your mind beyond what you kind of expected to. And I'm kind of a third of the way through, but just from my vantage point, I've been in this this career for 10 years, so I'm kind of more practiced in it. But if you're just kind of now dipping your toe in and wanting to jump full in, this might be a lot to take in. But essentially, what this book's premise is that we're really enjoying kind of the suffering of this dark side, this shadow side of ourselves. And so our subconscious might actually be leading the charge to give us kind of this little hit of like, see, it happened again. It didn't work out. I failed again. This whole undercurrent dark story. And so the more that we can unearth it and incorporate it into who we are, like in our best way, the more that we can actually be empowered by it and turn it into magic. So the big thing is paying attention. Where are you putting your effort and focus into? Are you so obsessed with, I need this outcome because when this outcome happens, then everything else is going to happen. Everything else is going to unlock. I'm going to become this person. I'm going to magically be happy. On paper, to check the box, it does not equate internal fulfillment. And I'm saying this from my own personal experience. At 27, I was married. And actually, no, it was, 27. I was married, had a 5-bedroom, 4.5-bath house, had a business, had a cute dog, thought I was going to have a ton of kids. And then everything crumbled down. When I was 30, I realized, oh, wait, who it is actually more important than what it creates. Who makes it possible, and who I was not a place to kind of create that either. And so we have to look at not just what it is we want, but what is outside of it, like what is contributing to it, what needs to be adjusted. And so when we can detach from the outcome and start to focus on the process, the journey, you might hear the journey a lot, the more that we can enjoy the journey, the more we can revel in it, the more that we can enjoy it, the outcome might change from what we thought it would be, or it might be a different interpretation of it. But when we are in that space of appreciation, gratitude, fun, play, we are creating a different trajectory for ourselves without us even realizing it because we're just enjoying the moment. And so we're present where we're appreciating things, but we're also planting the seeds for the future outcome that could or couldn't be. Now, it doesn't mean that I stop goal setting. It doesn't mean that I stop having a future vision for myself. I mean, literally, I created a course called Future Self Design. Of course, I care about the future. But what I'm not attached to is the specificity, the exact outcome of what it's going to be, because then I'm putting all this pressure, all this judgment on whether or not it happens. I write a year letter to myself on my birthday. And the letter I wrote to myself last year, when I read it, I put it in my calendar for a year in advance. I'm going to say 3% of what was in that letter happened. And I'm like, well, that's crazy. I mean, couldn't anticipate my husband's medical issues, couldn't anticipate the way that the world was going. Like, sure, if I talked to an astrologer and, had more predictive capacity and my psychic abilities, maybe I could have. But all the things that contributed to my business success, my physical well-being, our ability to travel, all of these things were impacted. Like there was no way we were going to go to Europe in the fall after my husband had a stroke. Like that's just not going to happen. There's no judgment there. It's just was. And so we have to take that into account. Now, there was a reset that happened of what is my focus about? What is my priority about? And it's taken a lot of introspection, reflection, and just sitting in kind of silence to understand that, you know what? I really love spending time with my family. I love getting outside. I love moving my body. I love connecting with clients. I love creating impact. I love laughing, like very simple things. And I know that the more I do that, the more that it's going to create this amazing outcome because those are the seeds that I've planted. Now, that's not to say that like all I have to do is sit here and laugh. No, there's intentional action that's going to lead to the outcome that I want to create. But I'm not obsessed with the outcome. I'm not saying this is the conversation that's going to make everything happen and it's going to do it. When we clench our fists, we are cutting ourselves off. In fact, I'm going to show up less like myself the more obsessed with the outcome I become. So we have to care about it, but we care about the effort that we're putting in. We're preparing ourselves and planting this. I keep saying planting the seeds. We're setting the ball. We're creating the momentum to aim it, but we're letting go of what the specific result is. And I always, when I teach innovation mindset, I always ask people, like, if you're so focused on the goal, what happens if you achieve it 99.9% of the way? What are you focusing on? And undoubtedly, they say the 0.1% that we didn't get. And it's super true because we look for the lack. And this is going to be the training that you have to do with your brain, with your body, with your daily practice of looking for all of the good stuff that's happening, looking for all of the things that are working, all the things that feel like it creates ease and flow. And also, where is there friction? And it doesn't mean that we ignore it. It doesn't mean that we bypass it. We actually sit with it and ask, what is this about? What is this getting me to pay attention to? Because the more that we kind of push it into the corner, the more it makes itself known, the more that little, a grain of sand becomes a pile and then it becomes a big blocker. So we have to be able to address things when they come up and be curious about it versus, oh, I don't like this feeling. It's icky. I want it to go away. This is where we can start to really push in and ground ourselves into our values, which can shift. But again, it's that curious lens of what's most important to me. And then what is our daily process? And this was the other piece that I had to pay attention to. I had fallen into the Bravo TV vortex where like every morning I'm like, I got to watch my Real Housewives. I've got to watch my Summer House. I've got to do all these things. And before I knew it, like 3 hours was gone and I felt like garbage. And I'm like, well, I don't have energy now. I can't go work out. It's too cold outside. I had a whole laundry list of excuses. But then I'm like, I know I've put weight on. My hip is screaming. My knee is barking and my attitude sucks. So thankfully, my husband called me out and said, why don't you just move for 30 minutes a day? And so now I'm back to doing yoga and Pilates. And when the weather gets better, we will go out and we will run. But I've been walking. I've been walking the dog more. I've been going and picking the baby up with the stroller, getting up the hills. All is good. But it's these small things that line up to what you want to create. So it's all about just understanding that you don't have control over the output, but you do have control over the input. So think about what are 1, 2, 3 daily inputs that create the outcome you want, and then let it go. Focus on your process, focus on what you're doing each and every day. And how does it make you feel? How does it add value to your life? And if it's not working, if it feels like a chore, if it feels like, oh, this is just not who I am, switch it up. Like find a fun way to do it. Like I realized, oh, I don't really like taking that class because it feels too strict. I want something that's more playful and has more, music that I like. Totally fine. It's not about, I have to grit my teeth and get through it, but you do need to have the discipline to consistently do it. You can take breaks, but come back to it. And I think that's the biggest thing is if we're focused on it has to be done this perfect way, or else I'm not going to do it, this all or nothing approach, then typically we're going to go to the nothing. Some is better than nothing. A little bit is better than zero. The more that you do, the better it gets. And this is what is going to help us navigate all of this uncertainty. What are we taking away from this? Get clear on your vision. Be as specific as you want, and then let it go. Let it go, plant those seeds and move away from it. Then start watering the seeds with your daily input, with your daily practice. What are 1, 2, 3 things that you're going to do each and every day? Start with one thing. Do it every day. Then add something else. Then add something else. Like if you do James Clear, his whole, atomic habits, great. But make sure that it's connected to something that you want to grow into, that you want to stretch into. Maybe it's a learning goal. Maybe it's something new. And make sure it's joyful. Make sure that you find pleasure in it, even when it's hard. The more that we can connect it to our values, the more that we can connect it into who we want to become, the more momentum, the more of that motivational energy just naturally starts to creating. So when it does feel hard, we remember, oh, wait, I know what I want to do. I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to keep it moving. Keep focusing on the inputs. And before you know it, you're going to be looking back of like, wow, I came all this way. And make sure that you're documenting, keeping track of all the awesome shit that's happening along the way, because that is equally as important. You are creating that. You are making that magic happen. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any comments, questions, cares, concerns, hit us up, grow@spitfirecoach.com, or leave a comment or review on the website or on our Apple Podcast reviews, and pass it along to a friend. And y'all keep being awesome. See you next time.